Matt, how in the world are you?
I'm doing pretty good right now, I guess.
You have a nice week off from the podcast?
I actually don't know if I did anything. Yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't do anything Friday. I just watched videos and then I might have played a little something. But no, last week was pretty boring.
See, that's why you need the podcast. It's not only your therapy session, it just injects a little bit of spice into your life.
How about you? How you doing?
Well, I've had quite the adventure. So we drove up to various parts of the Northeast part of the country. I want to say we were in Connecticut, Massachusetts, New York for a little bit, and Pennsylvania. Just visiting family. Uh, Someone in the family got married, which was, for the most part, the point of the trip. So that was fun. Um, what's not fun, though? My cell phone died. Second day of the trip.
You want to say why?
Oh. Everything will be divulged. So, I have a Samsung Galaxy S7. One of the main features of the phone is that it is IP68 rated in regards to water and dust resistance. So that rating means the phone should be able to withstand a meter of water depth for 30 minutes. Be just fine. And I have had this phone in water before, not very often, but just to show people, like, oh, got my phone wet. It's fine. I've run it under water to clean it, and it's been just fine. Not sure what happened this time. And also, it lives in an OtterBox Defender case. One of the best cases you can get for any phone. And this one got water in it. Not from exceeding a meter in water depth or exceeding 30 minutes. No. This was in water. This was in my pocket. I waded out into water in I think it was the Long Island Sound in Connecticut. And so it was probably in water, maybe 6 inches to a foot deep, for 30 seconds. And then my wife actually was like, I don't really feel comfortable with you having the phone with you while you swim around. So how about I just, put it with the other stuff? I was like, oh, fine, sure. Nope, lo and behold, while we were heading back to the place we were staying, screens started flipping out, and like all kinds of weird colors started happening, and the left half of the screen just got really dark, but like shooting white pixels across the screen. It was like it was on a trip. And yeah, turned it off. Didn't even know if it had water damage, because honestly this phone has been kind of acting funny. It was acting really weird when I was using it as a GPS on the way up there. But so I was like, it doesn't have water damage because it hasn't been in water for like over an hour. And then the issues started happening. But no, the next day I could literally see water in between the glass and the screen. So tried, Ziploc with some silica gel, little baggies to dry it out. Left it in there for over 72 hours, no luck. The only thing it will do is when you plug it in, it will just vibrate every 10 seconds. Which, and I've done my research, that apparently means that it thinks that the power port is wet and that you need to let it dry before charging the phone, so it will not charge. So yeah, water damage. And after doing research, hey, Samsung, you advertise this rating for water resistance. It obviously failed within those limitations. They don't cover water damage. If the sealants in the phone fail, as mine did, they don't cover it in their warranty. And it's outside of warranty. Like, I've had this phone for over a year. I did expect to maybe I could do a repair fee. So I did contact Samsung, and they said, well, it may not be water damage. It could be something else wrong with the phone. You should, send it in. We'll charge you $71 to go through like a standard repair. And I said, does the repair cover water damage? No, it doesn't. Okay, if it's water damage that has killed the phone, will you still charge me $71? They didn't give me a clear answer on that. So I turned him down. I said, no, I think I'm going to try something else. So I'm using an old Galaxy S4, trying to just put the minimum on there, and it's actually kind of zippy. It's not bloated or anything, but that stinks, because I meticulously take care of my phones. And the thing is like, my wife has the S8, and it's got the curved edge screen, and because of that screen design, there's no case that you can get. I know I've looked, unless they've come out with one in recent months. There are no cases that offer screen protection, like any screen protection, because you still have to access the curved edge of the phone to do certain things. So that is a screen which can very easily break. So pretty much, if the S9 is going to not offer a flat screen option, I'm pretty much done with Samsung phones. What was really shocking to me when I was doing my research and looking on forums and Reddit even occasionally, some people were because they were asking, does Samsung cover water damage? Because that's what they literally centered their advertising on. It was really annoying, because I was actually watching YouTube on my wife's S8, and some of the commercials on YouTube were showing an S8 drifting down to the bottom of a pool, and then someone swimming down and picking it up. It's someone save $300, and it'd be really ironic if someone sees that ad before watching this video, because it's such a joke. They do not offer water damage as part of their warranty, period. So,
I dropped my iPhone 5C in a bucket of water on accident one time. Took it out, wrapped it up in a paper towel, put it in a bag of rice for a day.
Yeah. It's A-okay.
It was in there for 10 seconds, mostly because I was just sitting there my phone's it's in the water.
And that was what was so weird about this, is it literally didn't start happening until it hadn't been in the water for about an hour. That's when it started flipping out. So, I don't know. It was really strange. Oh, but yeah, on the forums, people were like, you're an idiot if you actually expose your phone to water despite what the advertising says. You should never put technology in the water. It's no, you're the idiot. I'm using it as advertised. I'm using it, and they're like, it's not a waterproof phone. They never say that it's waterproof. you're right. They don't. They say it is water resistant up to this time and depth. Therefore, if I stay within those limitations, I should be A-okay. If it fails within those limitations, they should have to fix it. But they don't, and it's probably because they have no way of knowing just how long was your phone in water in the first place. But it's still stupid.
Isn't the Galaxy line the same phone that had like a bunch of phones blow up?
That would be the Note.
But it's still Samsung.
Still Samsung, yeah. So
there you go.
Like I said, yeah, Samsung. If you're one of the 20 people or so that watch these videos, I'm about done with you.
I mean, Apple products aren't that great. None of mine have exploded.
Even the iPhone 7,
they did bend. 7s did bend.
Well, the 7s, they're the first waterproof iPhone. Same deal. I wouldn't trust it.
I mean, I probably wouldn't put any kind of technology in water, but that's just me. Because my luck with technology...
It's not that great.
If it leaves the house, I'm very protective of it.
Which is why you need to put a screen protector on your 2DS.
My 2DS hasn't left my house.
It hasn't?
Wherever I live, that's where it stays. Because I don't go anywhere that requires...
Accidents still happen in the home.
I mean, there's no liquid near it. I'm not gonna put one of my sodas right as it won't spill.
Just saying.
I'll come in with Rukia holding both paws with the soda over my 2DS, just looking at me.
My original 3DS XL scratched the screen from a microfiber cloth. I kid you not. I don't know what was in the cloth, but I went like this with it, and there was a nice line because it's not glass, it's plastic. So it will scratch very easily. Screen protector. But yeah, I had a good trip, except for that. So what you playing?
Well, you gave me a pretty long time to play a bunch of different games. Because it's not just League this time. It's still League, but I'm not going to go into that because nothing super exciting happened for me in League. I played some more Pokemon Moon. Not a whole lot. I did play a little bit. I'm getting really I'm getting a little excited for the Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon because they've shown with most of the newer remakes they've been doing, the protagonists get different changes of clothes when they start off. The islands have changed quite a bit. New moves have been added to certain Pokemon, which is pretty cool. One of the Pokemon that its whole gimmick was it has two different forms, a day form and a night form. I think it got a new... I think it was it's either a night form or it's a third type of evolution that happens in the middle, at twilight hours in the game. Which is it's kind of like a mix between the day form and the night form. Is the looks of the night form on the body of the day form, so it's it looks kind of cheating. I guess the story is going to be a lot different from what it was. And that's basically all they've come out with.
So is Ultra Sun and Moon, is it kind of like Black and White 2?
Yeah,
Is it like a direct sequel in that case?
I don't think so. I think it's more of
like a director's cut version of the game?
Kind of. I think they're doing a lot with what they did with Black and White and Black and White 2. Because in Black and White 2, they focused more on Kyurem which if you haven't played any Pokemon games, unsubscribe
No.
right now. I don't need you.
You can stay.
You can follow Stephen. Every Pokemon game has always had a trio of some sort, whether it be legendaries, the side legendaries. There's at least one Pixie-mon. So for the main trio of legendaries for this game, it was Lunala. I just know him as Liger Zero. That's all he looks like to me. Whatever, you know it. The lion and...
just Google it.
Yeah. Well, I'm a little embarrassed because I should know it. But, yeah. And... Wow, I should really know this one because it's kind of the huge gimmick of the Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun. I don't know, the weird black diamond looking thing. He's the last he's the last Ultra Beast that isn't an Ultra Beast. He's actually the only Pokemon because technically the two Pokemon on the covers are actually Ultra Beasts. They're not actually Pokemon. So it's really weird the way they describe it because they evolved from an Ultra Beast.
Can they fit in my pocket once they're in a ball?
Well, so can Ultra Beasts.
Then they're Pokemon by definition.
No, because Ultra Beast balls were created to catch Ultra Beasts. It's the same premise as a Pokeball, but they're completely different from Pokemon. Because they're
this
all
is why I never
stupid
strayed
strong.
past Generation 1.
Well, things get real
bunch
fun.
of weird stuff.
Solgaleo. That was his name. Solgaleo. Yeah, Lunala, Solgaleo. And then with the third Pokemon, with it being an actual Pokemon, which is still weird. It's kind of like the whole Kyurem thing with Reshiram and the Black Dragon. It can combine with both of them to like make Kyurem white and Kyurem black. With this one, or with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, it's kind of like the same thing. It fuses with Lunala and Solgaleo, so that they get like stronger forms. At least that's what it looks like. And apparently, the story of it's supposed to be different. There's going to be new things in different in towns. Two new, I think, as of now, two new trial captains have been named, and there's going to be 2 more trials added to the game, which I believe before there were only, I think there may have been 8 trials. Which is funny because there's a Z crystal for each typing, and each trial gives you a certain typing. And then others you have to actually, some of them you have to go search for or you'll never find them. Some of them you like you fight the main bad, like the leader of the Team Skull, and he gives you the Bug Z crystal. There's a few people you find like that. So it's supposed to be all new. There's a whole bunch of theories going around, but this is just theories, and I don't feel like talking about it because I've got 2 other games to talk about.
And that's what Matt's been playing. Future games.
Future games. I think my mind's already planning on my team. Played Kirby Planet Robobot. I didn't know how I felt about it before. Well, what I mean by that is, I didn't know how I felt about the game because I didn't know if it was, if it really was good. Because I heard from a few friends of mine who are like diehard Kirby fans. They immediately got it and they said that they loved it, but Kirby's like their muse. And it was like, I don't know if it'd be like if someone came up to me and was like, "Is the new Pokemon game good?" I'm gonna say yes regardless.
Yeah.
So my opinion means nothing when it comes to that. But yes, it is. But yeah, while you were gone, I played that, and it's a really fun game. Not gonna spoil it because you already had a save file on there and you had 1% completed.
Yeah.
So you probably watched the cutscene.
I played, I think, the first level.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, I think I'm up to like World 4
Mm-hmm.
But it's a really fun game. They've got a few new power-ups, which are pretty cool. That's always the fun part of playing Kirby games, is the new power-ups. You want to get them and you want to try them.
What can I do with this button combination?
Exactly. Well, then it's also really cool because they gave, like, this isn't really a spoiler because it's one of the main gimmicks of the game. You can, like, get inside of a robot mech suit, and you can, like, that's how you get around certain levels, or it makes certain levels easier. But the mech suit can absorb powers too, and it basically makes them either better or worse. Yes, worse. There's a few of them I don't like.
Now, is it personal preference or like, no, they made it?
Well, it just doesn't do anything.
Okay.
Like, some of them have like basic attacks, and that's it. Some of them have like basic attacks and like cool, unique attacks. Like like when Kirby's just neutral Kirby and he gets power up. Some of them have like a bunch of different things you do. With the robot, like Sword. I think in a few Kirby games before it, they gave Sword like a bunch of different things because before it was just like you can just like do the slash and then you can like do an up slash. Now they've made it to where like you can do a spin, you can do a like down pierce, you can do slash. There's like a tiny like, it's not really a sword beam, but it's like a sword wave. It's like it stretches the cutting of the sword. When you get it in his robot, he just gets two big blades, and there's nothing cool or unique you can do. It's just two big swords that just do this.
So really not inspired much on that one.
Yeah, but there's a few of them that are like really cool. Like Cutter. Cutter's one of my favorites. But yeah, it's nice. It's good. And there's, I don't know which one it was. One of the more recent Kirby games had like, there was something. No, Return to Dreamland. Return to Dreamland was for the Wii U, wasn't it?
Wii.
Oh. What was the one for Wii U?
There wasn't one for Wii U.
It wasn't. Okay, then I am thinking of Return to Dreamland. That one you had to like collect parts to your spaceship or something like that. That one wasn't like too bad. This has like a similar premise. I think I'm thinking of Kirby's Epic Yarn Adventure or whatever, where you had to collect all the beads and the stickers and everything. There's just so many like items to collect. This one, it gives you one, so it actually kind of gives you an incentive to like look through it and like try and find them all. So that's also been fun because I've been trying to 100% complete it.
Kirby games are always fun to 100%.
Oh yeah, because you can do it.
Yeah.
And even if you can't find it in a certain level, when you do, you're just like, I'm so stupid. It was right there. I've had that happen to me like 4 times.
That's why we play video games, to have those moments where we're like, man, I was so stupid.
Exactly. Voice crack. But my favorite game that I've been playing.
Here we go.
I've been playing Slime Rancher. And that's such a fun game. Like, you don't think it looks that fun. And you're probably right. I'm one of the weird people who really likes games like Harvest Moon, Stardew Valley. I've never actually played what's that game the villagers from?
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing. I've never played Animal Crossing, but it's a similar style of game.
I think if you ever played Animal Crossing, that's it. You wouldn't play anything else.
I love games like that where it's so simple and you could basically do it in real life, but there's something so addicting about it.
And there's no end.
Can't explain. But like Stardew Valley, like some people don't like Harvest Moon because it's literally just farming. It's just farming to get better crops, to get more gold, to have a better like year of farming. That's literally the game. I can understand people not liking that. Stardew Valley kind of like, they try to like mix it up. He's like, you can do fishing, you can go into mines and hunt monsters, you can There's dungeons you can go fight monsters in. You don't even need to mine anything. There's a bunch of different areas to unlock, and like you can get new stuff doing that. You can like NPCs in those games are actually like, or in Stardew Valley are like, they're unique. It's fun to get to know them. Slime Rancher, you're just one person all alone. You move into a ranch that was owned by another dude who leaves messages all throughout your farmland, and you just find slimes. You find them, you put them in little corrals, you feed them, you get their little goos, you sell their goos for money, and then you just do it again. And like the different slimes have like, it's got like what the slime is, what are the risks of having the slime in your farm, and then what are their goos used for, which they're called plorts, but goo just sounds so much more fun. And it's like backstory of like, this type of goo is used in like weapons making and Earth. They make missiles and machine guns with it. It's like, oh, that's depressing. And then you've got like honey goos, and it's like, this is used on everything that's sweet and delicious because it's the best thing ever. It's like, oh, that's awesome. That's so cute. It's so much fun. That's literally all I've done. That's the only thing I've played. I haven't played Robobot. I haven't played League. I've just been playing Slime Rancher. Mostly because I had looked. The game came out like 2 years ago, but it was an alpha.
Oh, okay.
Which is why I didn't get it then, because like I don't care. It's like you have like 3 slimes you can collect. That's not a game. That's just
a concept.
Yeah. But my buddy tried to sell it to me. He was like, "No, it's really fun. They're adorable." And like, yeah, they are adorable. But there's 3. And the map was really small at the time. So I was like, "No, I'm not gonna get it." And then a few days ago, I saw that I was looking at YouTube. I was just watching videos to pass the time for a buddy of mine to get off work so we could play a game of League before I went to work. And I saw that Markiplier posted a video about Slime Rancher. So I was like, oh. Alright, why not? So I watched it and it was like, it's a game now. Look at all the things to do. Look at the things. And it was like, oh, it looks like a fun game.
That, and you had Markiplier's voice on top of that. And that buttery smooth voice of his talking about all the lovely little details and the screaming, but it's still buttery smooth. But yeah.
He actually didn't sell it to me. What sold it to me was it was a full game and there was a bunch of different stuff. And then I went on Steam and I watched all the trailers for the game, and it was like they'd had like a whole bunch of stuff come out in the past 2 years. And I was just like, oh, this is a game. This is a game I can play for like 100 hours.
I kind of feel like No Man's Sky is going to be like that at some point. Because they're still working on it.
No.
You don't think so?
I feel like No Man's Sky
will get to the point where it's a game.
I feel like No Man's Sky crashed so hard. There's no way they can salvage.
Well, the thing is like Slime Rancher, like no one heard about it 2 years ago. Hardly anyone did.
There were a lot of people that played Slime Rancher. Markiplier played it. Jacksepticeye played it. A guy named Blitz, who's actually kind of popular. I didn't know that. He has a big he has a lot of views for doing a Let's Play series on Slime Rancher. I think PewDiePie played it for a little bit. Like all the big YouTubers played it for a little bit, but some of them dropped it because, like I said before, there wasn't a lot of content on there. But like most of them have picked it back up since it's become an official game.
Mm-hmm.
So people will probably start picking it up now because
now I'm
they all
seeing
did it.
Stuff about it like in my Twitter feed. So,
because it's such a good game, and now I've got to the point to where like I can make machines. There's a weird gate with a bunch of like the different slime plorts on it, and it's like one of them is glowing, so I've got no idea what that means, and behind it is like a gigantic piece of land that I haven't explored yet, so there's probably a bunch of new slimes back there, so I gotta figure out how to unlock that. I already think I have an idea about it, but whenever I start streaming again, which is coming, I'm gonna start doing it more. Well, at all. I'm not doing it at all right now, but I'll do it again soon. I'm making plans for it. That is definitely one of the games. It's probably going to be a huge letdown because I was in the middle. No, I was at the end of Dark Souls 2 when I stopped streaming. I was like, here's the final boss. No, let's go deal the DLC. And then I just stopped.
Oh, gosh.
So, yeah. I don't even have Dark Souls 2 anymore, so that's super depressing for anyone who was watching it. Sorry, Warlord. My bad.
We took away his one reason to watch.
You watched a lot of those. What have you been playing?
Wow. After your list, I get to go through my list. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that big. So, after Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance was completed, I began playing Pokemon Yellow. And I believe you had communicated to me at some point that if you were going to get one of the Gen 1 games on the 3DS, it would be Pokemon Yellow.
Yeah.
Because it is the best one.
Literally is.
So
you get all the Pokemon in it.
No, you don't. Yeah, you still have to trade with you. Well, see, that is with Red and Blue, you just have to trade with the other one to get all 150. Although there is that whole Eevee thing where there's 3 forms of Eevee. You only get one Eevee in the game, so technically you've got to, trade with at least 2 other people.
What are the Pokemon you don't get in Yellow?
There's some that are not in Yellow. Like, I could be wrong on this. I don't think Meowth is in it as a catchable Pokemon. I don't think you can get Ekans, maybe? There's some, there's actually...
It's literally just the Team Rocket Pokemon.
Yeah. No.
The strongest in the game.
But yeah, there's actually some you can't get. And some of the exclusive ones to Red and Blue are still exclusive. Now, you can get Oddish and Bellsprout in it, but I think there's something weird with, like, Growlithe and Vulpix. I'm not sure, but yeah, rest assured, you actually have to trade with both Red and Blue to get all 150.
Well, that's dumb. Also, I never played the first generation of games. I've only watched them. I started on Gen 2.
Yeah. Found an interesting exploit if you do start to play it. So, what's so awesome about Pokemon Yellow, and I'm to the point where I've got 2 gym badges, and that's the point of the game where you actually can get all 3 of the starters from Red and Blue. Obviously, Pokemon Yellow, you start with Pikachu, you don't have any other choice. But you can get Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle. And it all depends on how Pikachu's mood is. Found a neat exploit in the game. And I tried it. I didn't even research this. I'm pretty sure this is somewhere online. But this is just kind of knowledge of other game exploits that sometimes work, especially in RPGs when it comes to using items. So, in Pokemon, I'm sure this is the case in later generations, if you try to use an item, like a health boosting item, like a potion, on a character who's already at max health, it'll say, you can't use it. Well, one of the things you can do with Pikachu to increase his mood is use items on him. But the game will actually count if you try to use, like in that situation, if you try to give him a potion when he's already at max health, and it just says, the item will not have an effect, the game still counts it towards Pikachu's mood as though you had used an item on him. So, I think the first one you can get is Bulbasaur in Cerulean City, and Pikachu's mood wasn't bad, but it was like average. So I just tried to use the potion on him like 10 times, and like he's like jumping off the floor, and like he's really super happy. Because at first I was like, I'm gonna have to like level him up a bunch, and then I can come back for Bulbasaur. No, just use that trick. So if you get the game and I think you should, because that's the only way I'm going to get 150 is by trading with another 3DS that has at least, well, one version of the game. Yeah, because I could trade Pokemon with you. But anyway, that's what I've been playing. And I'm trying to catch an Abra
Haha.
with a low-level Jigglypuff.
Oh.
Because that's really the only...
You trying to sing?
Yeah. That's honestly, if you want to catch Abra as early as you can in the game, that's really your best bet. I've done it.
That's right. Wobbuffet's in Gen 2.
Yeah. You can get a Clefairy, but Clefairy does not learn Sing at a low level. So, I'm just boosting up.
Oh, your gym badges. That's right. You only have 2.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you might want to get it higher because I'm pretty sure Abra's speed is pretty high.
Boost speed?
Abra?
Oh, yeah. Well, Abra's like my go-to psychic guy. Well, Kadabra. But I don't...
See.
I think I might have mentioned this before, but one time during a playthrough, I skipped like... I want to say he evolves at like level 16 or something to Kadabra. Something like that. And then he learns Confusion. But if you skip level 16, like let's say, you know, you go to a gym and you like go from level 15 to 17, he'll evolve into Kadabra and will not learn Confusion. It's a bit of a glitch. So don't make that mistake. I'm sure Gen 1's full of stuff like that, though.
I don't think I ever carry a psychic type on a team. There's really only a few psychic types that I genuinely like, and Alakazam is definitely one of the strongest psychic types.
Mm-hmm.
But I prefer Reuniclus. Reuniclus or Medicham are usually pretty good.
And the second game I've been playing is, of course, Sonic Mania. And if you are... This game is honestly for anybody who has played an old school platformer, period. You don't have to be a Sonic fan to like the game. If you just like good old school physics-based platformers, get this game. It is so far probably one of the... I think some reviews have actually said it's like the best Sonic game ever. It's definitely to the point where it's probably the best Genesis style Sonic game so far. And that is a tall order to beat, because that has to go up against Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which is like...
Those are...
It's a really fun game.
Yeah.
But I think this basically takes that concept up to a whole new level. There's unlockable stuff in the game. There's a lot to do and get and see. And I've only scratched the surface. I haven't even done one playthrough yet. But it's basically the same length as Sonic 3 and Knuckles. You get 12 zones, 2 axe piece, 24 levels that are all like big levels. And one thing I will say, I thought, because there's a lot of reused levels, but what's so cool about it is, like, the first 2 zones you go to are Green Hill Zone and Chemical Plant Zone, and they start out with pretty much the exact same level design as those levels did in Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. But then they start changing things on you, and they start adding like different gadgets from different Sonic games, and it feels like a huge like remix of the Genesis games with a whole bunch of extra stuff thrown on top. So at first I was like, I don't want to play through Green Hill Zone again, because that is the one zone that they keep rehashing and rehashing and rehashing. It's like playing through Super Mario Brothers World 1-1. Like, it's great in Super Mario Brothers. Leave it there. But the way they do this one, it's like there's so much more to it. And the levels are just much, much larger than they could be on the Genesis. And so far, like, I'm very impressed with what they've done with it so far. So I guess this is what happens when you actually let fans make the games. Nintendo. Yeah.
It's like Metroid's got some good ones. Pokemon's got some really good ones. Y'all need to start hiring some people who make fan games, because some of those people make ooh.
Yeah, just recruit them. Recruit them. Don't just tell them to shut their projects down. Like, actually pay attention to what they're doing. And don't steal their ideas either. Like, I know that they're like, oh, well, they're stealing my franchise. Yeah, but they're bringing in fresh ideas to it. But
Yeah.
Sorry, this is a long update section, but it has been
update section.
2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks.
So, you deserve it.